Good morning. This is Spirit Journey. It is Thursday morning, and it's now about 4:53 a.m. I've been awake now for maybe close to 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours. I enjoy when I wake up this time of day because that's when you can really think. Around you is very quiet, and your mind is calmer, and you're able to focus more. I was thinking about, again, Hollywood, and how, what it really means, Hollywood. Yes, I've been watching videos regarding Hollywood, in particular, conspiracy theorists. And yes, they mentioned that Hollywood is actually a name of a type of wood that in Europe they use to make wands, magic wands. And so it's about magic and taking energy. It's metaphysics. You're able to take energy and make something with it, or to have that energy / force do what you will it to do. And so Hollywood, the movie industry, and I also include television, not so much radio, but in particular television and the movies, that both mediums, it's about people have to sit down and stare at a square or rectangle shape and engage in it to such a degree. Now television, I think television came first. Well, no, wait a minute. No, I think television came out in the 1950s. But the movies, yes, movies came out first, because you had a projector, and you have what they call the big silver screen, and you have people in an audience staring at this thing, and you have actors and actresses, props, and some of their stages and where they're filming is so detailed, and it's creating something that isn't real. You could even look at something that looks like you're in a house, but it's on a stage, and it has 3 walls, 2 side walls and the back wall, and you're looking in like a dollhouse, but there's no 4th wall, and there's no ceiling. But they design it in such a way that if you you just pretend that it's all there, that is a 4th wall and a ceiling, and that they're not acting. I get, you ever watch the movies and you get really caught up in it, in the drama. Your emotions, you can cry, you can laugh. And you know what? We pay to see it. And now, the past 2 years, maybe 3 years, the price of a movie ticket, it's between $17 to sometimes $20. And maybe 30 years ago, I thought $8 was a lot of money. $8 was the more expensive theaters. They were in more expensive neighborhoods. But now it's like standard. You're paying a lot of money to see it, to be entertained. And sometimes you woke up feeling depressed, emotional, angry. And I asked myself, why am I watching this? Why am I paying money to have someone write a script, and it may not even be in my favor? You hear that? It may not even be in my favor to watch what I'm watching. You have some films that are biased against certain races or ethnic groups or religions or even gender. And we pay to watch this, making them rich. And sometimes I feel angry. It's like, wow. You see the commercials. Now they're really into those commercials when they advertise about these movies that are coming out. And I saw a week ago the movie Downsize. Now I didn't know that it was going to play out like that in the movies. I thought it was going to be about something else. But I thought it was still an interesting concept. And the twist that developed in the movie. But I chose to see it. I have to start asking myself, why am I watching it? Why? What do I get out of it? What do you really get out of this? But it's all, it's like it's taking your money. It's taking you. It's sometimes draining you. Sometimes I walk out of a theater and I feel like wiped out. Yeah. And then now, I like to buy my popcorn and drink, my beverage. I really enjoy it. I have to admit, I enjoy eating the popcorn, especially if it has a lot of butter and salt on it. I do. I love the butter. And I love the crunch behind it, but I don't know why I'm doing this. But I do it. And it's almost like a ritual. And I already know what I'm going to do when I get in there. It's okay. I'm going to come in, try to get there a little early so I can buy what I want to buy, sit down at leisure, and then veg out for a couple of hours and spend money to see it. Now, I spend, let's see, the ticket costs maybe close to $17, and then what I eat costs about another $16. So that's over $30 for 2 hours. But I'm like hitting myself over the head, trying to figure out why I do this. Why do I go to the theater? Why do I want to be entertained? Why am I spending money for this? What is Hollywood doing with this money? Well, one thing, they're getting more and more in the illusion. They're making it more and more real looking. They can make things and you think that they're really there. I'm finding out, what they call green screen. They can make it look like that they're in a particular country. And they're not. They're in a studio. They could be out there in California and they have a green screen and the backdrop is of a particular city. Or look at the movie Titanic. And that wasn't even on a ship. It was all green screen. I remember I saw the making of the Titanic. But I saw it. And I did enjoy the movie too. The first hour, I enjoyed it very much. but it's not real. And I paid good money to see it. Why? Why is Hollywood? They're charging more money, but yet they are creating more illusions in the process. They're getting more creative with the disguise of what it is. So you can watch something, and it's a green screen, special lighting, and then now the music too. It all plays in. And it's not even where they are. It's not glamorous whatsoever. I live near and what do you call it? The news people, and there they have tons of light. If you only go and visit one of those places where they make the news, you have these people sitting on these chairs, and these big cameras. It's humongous. It doesn't look glamorous at all. See, we're looking at the wall. The two sides and a back wall, and you're seeing it. And it creates an illusion, a feel. And we think it's so real. And it's cold in those studios too. But the lights are so strong, so it keeps them warm, I guess. But yeah, they're now, even the news isn't real. They have a script too. I knew of someone who had an account at those news studios. They said before them there's paper. And they're reading a script. And they call it news. And the jokes, what they say and all that stuff, that's also in the script that they call news. Everything is a performance. But we think it's news. I'm dumbfounded about it. Because I put so much I used to put so much value. I don't really watch television. I don't have a television. But when I visit family, they have the television going on, whatever, and I watch it with them, But growing up, I was a TV person, and I believed everything I saw. And to see that this news, that person that told me it's all the script. Even the jokes are part of the script. They're not pretending to be friendly, whatever, joking. That's the script they're reading. Everything. So you say, wow. And so now, like, you have people like Trump, and Trump is saying fake news. Okay, he was, what was that? He was talking about, television, the TV news people. Okay, TV is TV. And they also being paid by the same type of people. The news people. Watch it. When you watch the news, what comes on? Commercials. The news people and the Hollywood people, the TV shows, they all have what they call sponsors. And the sponsors are selling a product. So what type of products do they have? I would say in the daytime, a lot of foods and household cleaners. Because generally who was targeted were women. Because women in general were the domestic engineers. We buy the products. The women in general go out and shop for their home, food, cleansers, supplies. And these people are targeted to buy it. I'm wondering I'm really wondering, what did people buy? What did they buy? So, I'm not sure. Hope my recording didn't go off. Press home to unlock. I'm sorry. My thing had my tablet had come off for a moment. But let me get back. So it targets women to buy these products, and they create scenarios, things like, with household cleaning, people who are cleaning their house, their children, and it's all a script to get you to buy this stuff. But before television, what did people do? Didn't people, they had farms. I was told in the U.S., I think like in the 1920s and 30s, most people lived on farms. So they grew their own food. So what was going on now? If, television is a relatively new phenomenon, so why did they need to develop television and commercials? That I can't figure out. Why was it necessary? People. Maybe that's just it. If 70% of the people lived on farms, then you're pretty much independent. And again, at one point, there was no income tax. So you grew, you had your land, you grew your food, and your labor was yours. Now, you got to pay people because, for your labor. Isn't that wild? You're doing all the work, and you made an arrangement with someone to labor for them, or you're laboring for yourself, you work for yourself. But now, you got to pay someone who you don't know your money, your labor. Isn't that slavery in reverse? Slavery, your labor is, you're not getting paid, but someone is getting your energy, your labor. Now, you do the labor, and then you pay someone for you to work. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Someone is charging you to for you to work. It's insanity. Okay, so this development of this silver screen. Now, okay, I mentioned about the silver screen, and then that we pay to see this. But one thing in the movies, the commercials aren't so much there, initially. But now, it is there. Now what they're doing, they're selling other movies. So those are the new commercials. So Hollywood in the movies, it's a different type of commercial. They're promoting, they're cranking it up for you to watch another movie and another movie and another. That is the commercial. But at home, primarily they're products. Buy a product. Buy more of that product. Okay, so the product for the TV is a commercial for products at home. But again, they do advertise movies that are coming out too. But in the movie theater, it's not like a product. But okay, they do have the things to buy, the soft drinks, the candy, things like that. But primarily they advertise other movies. But so what would the world be like if you didn't have movies or television what would society be like? Well, one thing I'm thinking, that television and the movies centralize people more. Okay, because now, the population is growing and getting bigger. America has over 300 million people. So, with that growing number, how are you going to control them? Okay, by language, customs, belief system. Okay, you have a belief system that you want the masses to adhere to. So when you develop television, radio even, or the movie theater, you're getting people of diverse backgrounds, belief systems, under a roof, watching something, and it telling them what to believe. It introduces certain concepts, attitudes, or religions or customs, all that. So that's how it's being spread. So you have 300 plus million people with a mindset that's pretty much the same. So that's the program. That's how you control masses of people without chains. See, under the slave system in the 1400, 1500, 16, 17, 1800s, you had physical chains and people forcing their will upon you of labor. It's all about labor and energy. And they didn't have radio, television, or the movie theater, but you had chains, heavy cast iron chains, heavy, strong. You couldn't break out of it either. You're stuck, physically stuck. But see, now you don't see those chains anymore. But it's not required because you have a new chain around their neck, around their feet. Television, movies, and radio are mediums to control people. And you can't run away. And you pay people to work. You're working and you got to pay them money called income tax. So they're making you feel that they make you feel that you're free because you don't have those chains on, and you can walk and go about your business, but you're still under control. You're under control, and you can't really leave. They got you. They got us. And it's now with the television, now with videos. They have these music videos, and you notice now they're getting that the movie videos are like little movies, miniature movies. Yeah, I remember when MTV came out. And it was Michael Jackson, his video, I forget the name of the video, but it was like a miniature movie, and it was like what was that, Thriller, from his Thriller album. And we were all captured. It was like a miniature movie. But now, these modern day music, it's full productions. It's just like the movies. And they're younger now. Because now you have a lot of young people. Now you have a lot of people who are under 30 years of age, and you grab them with the music. I remember when I was young, when I was in my late teens and early 20s, I would say from age 14 to 25, or even 27, that's when the music was, I was into music. It was addictive. It had a very strong pull on me, and I felt very dependent on it. But now the music, because back then when I was growing, it was the radio. I didn't know what these singers looked like at all, you know. But now people know what the artist looks like, and it's a full production. They spend a lot of money on those music videos, and it has such a pull. I know the music had a pull on me, but now, wow, they are really pulling it. They're really using full force on these young people, and it's such a control, and they're becoming mainstream. Now you walk around where I live, you look at the billboards, and you see musicians, a lot of musicians, and people are captivated by them, and they create this reality, this false reality using these famous singers now. It's so much part of pop culture, and it's just to make you act certain ways. It's just so pervasive. I don't fully understand it. See, I don't listen to music anymore. I do not play the radio. I haven't played my radio in over a year. It could be even over 2 years, or 3 years even. I no longer watch it. Not watch it, listen to it. I don't enjoy radio. I hate it. At one point I was just seeing people, a bunch of people just cursing and acting angry. I said, what is that person's beef? Why do they sound angry and cursing and yelling? They make good money. I don't know. So again, getting back to this Hollywood, the movies, it's a way to control masses, millions of people, and it's for you to keep generating money for somebody else. Well, who's that somebody else? Okay, you have, now that they moved over to Hollywood. Most of the productions and stuff, it's in Southern Southern California. And the weather is generally warm. And then you can create new environments. You could create a winter scene with all this falsities. And I can't quite figure it out. Where does this money go to? Okay, you pay the movie man. They use it to create bigger movies. It's like it's generating something to generate something. But where does it go? I think someone told me before that it goes to the, what do you call it, the war machine. What do you call it? The industrial complex, Walt Disney, the space program. Perhaps Hollywood television and to a lesser extent the radio, that this money, this revenue is being generated. It's a corporation. Okay, those commercials are corporations, large ones. There's no mom and pop ones. They're major, major, major corporations. And they go about they go about collecting this money. I'm sorry, my tablet went off again. Yeah, they go about collecting money to buy weapons, to build a space program. Wow. Is that what this is all about? Creating an illusion so you don't realize you're a slave. Because, if you didn't have all this media and stuff like that, you'd live probably on a farm, you'd be creating your own food, but there won't be that much centralization of thought. And they want people to think the same thing. So, and then if you didn't have this system, then you start realizing you're trapped. So they might be making you, distract you. When everything is comfortable and good, that's when that creativity, the real you starts to bubble over, creativity and thinking. When all that pressure's off, when you feel you're free and everything, you start to explore and be creative souls that you really are. And then you say, hey, where am I? I'm trapped in this world. We're trapped here. You start to realize, remember that movie? That guy? Oh, I forget that name. He was in a... He from the time he was born, he was on a camera. And his world was all constructed. The Truman Show. Yes, it was the Truman Show. And that was a microcosm of what's maybe going on with us. That maybe we're being watched and manipulated on a larger scale, and people watching us. It's okay, let's make this happen to this person, make that happen, but to large masses of people. And again, maybe that's what television is all about. Creating a world, an illusion, enough so that you're distracted and not ask questions. But like in the Truman Show, he started to ask questions because there were little quirks in the making, little quirks. Like remember when this light thing fell down from the sky? He started, we're intelligent human beings. We could be deceived for a while, but sometimes there's a crack in the wall and evidence comes out, like in the movie The Truman Show. So it's like, what are they distracting us from? I'm finding out, like, again, this super soldier stuff, that they're kidnapping children and doing these tortures on them to fracture their mind, and they become schizophrenic, multiple personalities, a fractured soul, and it compartmentalizes those different aspects of themselves. So they don't know about each other, and then you could hide information with these personalities in them and have them do. But each of them, like if you listen to those secret space programs, the super soldiers program, each of these people that are trapped, they're all slaves. The ones that are really honest about it, they use that term that they're forcing them to do the task at hand. If they don't do what they're told to do, they'll be tortured. They use electrocuting. They have this collar around their neck and it electrocutes them. It's torture. See, again, we're so brainwashed with the movie Roots that to be a slave you have to be a black skin, have this heavy chain on your neck and your ankles. You don't need that. You could do. They use other weapons. They use these microwave weapons, I heard, and they can zap you in your home, cause you to have anxiety attack, a stroke, all these weird symptoms. See, now with technologies, you don't need chains anymore. And you're forced to do the work. You're forced to do it. And the secret space program and the super soldiers, they're there, they're working non-stop. And it's like they're using these people to acquire more people, and have them do more and more work. I was told that they're doing deals with ETs, extraterrestrials, using them as sex slaves, making what they call clones. That you have cyborgs. I said clones. I meant to say cyborgs. That they're part human, part machine, or they're part ET and machine. And they take the person's soul and plant it in these cyborgs. It sounds like a bad science fiction flick, but this is what they're saying. And they're doing deals with them. And it's a whole market out there in space. It's spooky. I think this world is like the Truman Show. And that we're trapped in this bubble. See, Earth is a temperate zone. I mean, some zones on this Earth is uninhabitable. It's snow. It's freezing. No plants growing. But pretty much, it's very habitable. And it's like a cultivator, like a greenhouse. It's concentrated. It's encapsulated. It's regulated pretty much, and you grow the crops, and it's prime crops. And maybe people are like that here on Earth. That they create an environment for certain types of people to live certain parts of the world, on this planet, and we're being harvested and to work for other people. What was the slave trade really all about? People are working and doing stuff. What they're doing, I don't know. I mean, why do you need so much resources? See, all that I don't know. But maybe it's to feed a galaxy of people. Just like, what was slavery here about? The colonials didn't need all that food. The Europeans didn't need all that food. The Arabs didn't need it. They didn't need all that stuff. Why do they need all this? It's just a surplus. Well, maybe. And it's the two main groups. Japheth and Shem. And then Ham is the third wheel. But actually the third wheel was the primary wheel. We're the indigenous people. We lived, we had a community, and one day we got hijacked. And once it got a little hold, their expertise at creating illusion, at least now, this Hollywood, these things, it's all fakery. And we believed it. I don't know what they used back 500 years ago. What did they use to control people? Well, again, they had chains back then. But remember also, you talk to indigenous people like Native Americans. What did they say? These tall, bearded, white people came, and then they said they're going to come back. And they pretended to be God. Remember that? They pretended to be a God, a creator. And they went to different parts of the world. But the stories seem to be the same with these people. That they're going to come back. And fast forward, what happened during World War II? Not the whole planet wasn't inhabited by these new people. Some of it was uninhabited by these new races of people, just indigenous people. But in World War II, these Europeans, modern day Europeans, came to the Pacific Islands, South Pacific, Indian Ocean, and there were people who never saw these type of people before, these white people. And then they came with these Europeans came with these planes, these large ships, and remember, what do they call it? The something cult, the John something cult, I forget, but it's a belief that these people that came to them were special people, gods. And then, they did a follow-up on these people in the Pacific Islands and Indian Ocean. And they started work, these indigenous people build replicas of them, the planes, wooden guns, and worship this. Like, wow, these were the special people. And it's the same thing here, the John from cult. John from cult. Back in those days, the John was a very popular name. They would say, hey, where are you from? Oh, my name is John and I'm from. And they coined the term, the John from cult. And they worshiped these people, these Europeans that had technologies that these indigenous people of that part of the world, So the same thing, what happened 400, 500 years ago, 800 years ago, 1,000 years ago. You had an advanced civilization and an indigenous people, and the two collided. And then they left. And now maybe they're coming back again. Okay? You see, like World War II, this new awareness, this new people, and these Europeans, I think, are the tools of these extraterrestrials, these superior beings of technology / God. It's all repeating itself. So maybe what's happening, can you have these other beings in other worlds And when their supply gets low, they come back to planet Earth. And then they mix with the indigenous people enough so that they can interact with each other. And then but they still rely on the indigenous people down here. And they're causing havoc. And again, the cycle just keeps repeating itself. They acquire new peoples. They do the Industrial Revolution, all this stuff coming about, you know. And the cycle happens over and over again. And then they leave. It gets quiet. They have some of the technology they leave behind. And then it happens again. Wow. So now the technology is growing, and now people are able to teach each other. Hey, this happened to me. Now we have what you call the internet and YouTube, and now you can share your story. Say, hey, this happened to me. Hey, I got caught in this thing. I was kidnapped. And then you share it. Like this secret, super soldier program. It's getting out there. I mean, this one YouTuber, he's been out now for 5 years, and I'm just learning about it just a year ago. And maybe the past few months, 3 months now, 2 months now, that I've been reintroduced to this thing, this super soldier, because I'm thinking, hey, there's something to this. And the news media, it's getting haywire now. This fake news. But I think enough truth is coming out, enough to awaken people and maybe come to their memory. I feel something has happened to me. It could be just, I think what happens to some people that you get traumatized. And that, like, listen to these super soldiers that they want to fracture your mind. And they fracture your mind many times through certain sexual practices. You can get molested, molestation. And look again, Hollywood. Hollywood uses molestation. They rape, molest these young people. Or even adults. Hey, you want to get in this movie, you got to do something sexual with us. It's the same thing. But they feed off of that energy. And again, like in the movie that I mentioned earlier, in another video, recent video, about those, what's the name? They Live. That movie, They Live. What happened in that movie? The very last scene of that movie was a sex scene between this alien and a human. And they pretend to be something that they're not in order to get your energy. Everything is about energy. Money is about energy. That's why they call it currency. Like an electrical current. But it's to keep you oppressed. But they say, that we're all energy, but we're stuck in this low energy state. How, as human beings, how can we get out of this low energy frequency so we're not dependent on this food, the type of food we eat? We're killing animals to eat. But I was told that, hey, there's a point that we didn't rely on those things for food. That you can live off of the prana, the energy of the universe. And somehow we got in this low energy state, And once we're in this state, then that's where the deception really comes in, and they're clamping down on us and making us believe that we are this physical being. How do we get out of this realm of deception, of this recycling of this, what they call life, this reincarnation? This sucks. This is a slavery. You're born in this body. You get aches and pains as you get older. And some people are born with aches and pains, diseases. And we just keep on doing and doing, and then you drop dead. And then in this society here, they say, oh, well, you can retire when you're 55, or now, that was it, now it's 67. So you work, and work. And then we promise you that you can retire and live the good life. And then you die. Oh, this sucks. This really sucks. How do you get out of this trap, this illusion of false freedom, being forced to pay someone money for us to work? They really, and and the income tax system on top of that. Wow, we got screwed. I definitely don't want to come back to this existence. This is a trap. This is a real hell. And the Bible, again, the Bible is man-made. They mention certain things. They don't really expand on it. I think, like people who are rulers, they want you to know, so they force you to know what they want you to know about them, whether false or true. And then they promote it. And that's part of the program. So it just keeps on recycling itself. And I want to get out. I want to get out of this matrix, this lie. They're telling you where it's headed, society. This war, this space war. That's going to be the new cover story. This Star. Didn't that movie? Not Star Trek, Star Wars. I think it just another Star Wars came out. They're putting so much money into this Star Wars stuff. Multi-million dollars. Multi-million dollars. For what? Why do I need to watch this? Well, one thing, again, it programs you, it controls you, and it finances false activities, falsehoods, corruption, slavery, the secret space program. It's everything. It's like recycling itself. It feeds itself. Well, we gotta wake up. I have to wake up. And I want to get out of this matrix of lies. Only thing I can say, those people who are brave enough to listen to this recording, it's going towards 54 minutes, that we got to get out of this matrix. I guess really I really need to get into this meditation, go out in nature. Right now it's winter and getting very cold. Wear something, folks. Force yourself out there to get in that fresh air. Go into nature if you have a nice, safe park to go into. Do something. Get out of this. Get into nature. And I say this for myself too. I need to find answers. I need to find some real deep answers about this world illusion and how to get out of this prison planet and go to my true home. This reincarnation thing is just another means of slavery. So I know I said a lot, and those who are brave enough to to listen to this dialogue of mine, you are brave. Go the next step. Each one teach one. Get out there and start teaching me also what you learn. Okay, guys? So this is Spirit Journey signing off. Peace, love, and blessings to you. True spirituality and true awakeness is what I wish for all of us. Bye-bye.